Day-to-day photographer's taking a picture of us. Welcome into the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. KJ Doyle joined by the wonderful and talented Alfonso McCree. And Alfonso, a huge game for the Tars here in this one. Tampa and Rollins, a half game separates them in the Sunshine State Conference standings. And this could have serious implications on the Sunshine State Conference tournament.
You're right. Tampa sitting at 4th, Rollins sitting at 5th. Rollins needs this game to jump into 4th place in order to try to give themselves a home playoff game. Now, this is the last home game of the regular season for the Tars. But a lot of these seniors here tonight on senior night are trying to make sure that that is not the last home game they'll play right here on this floor. 2
games left for Rollins, both of those on the road, 3 left for Tampa, so still a lot to sort out, but a lot will be figured out here tonight, and it's going to be the battle between Max Jones and Hutton Yanor, the 2nd leading scorer in the conference and the 4th leading scorer in the conference, going head-to-head.
Right, and Hutton Yanor, he's going to have some help tonight, because a player that wasn't there last time these two teams played, where Jones dropped a 30-piece on our Tars, well, he's here tonight. Brooks Cluxton, the walking double-double, is going to be a presence in the paint that Jones is going to have to compete with. Things might turn out differently here tonight.
Max Jones returning, has missed the last 5 games for Tampa. They've lost 3 straight. Rollins coming off a close win against St. Leo, and Dayton Gum and Cade Long, huge in that game.
Can I just talk about Cade Long for a second?
Go right ahead.
5 steals in that second half. And what was a completely different Rollins team on the defensive end than there was in the first half. Completely slashing. I mean slashing in half the shooting percentages for St. Leo. 25% in the second half from three-point range compared to 50% in the first half. It's just unbelievable how they did. So clearly they figured out something defensively. Clearly they put the pieces together in some way. Let's see if that translates well to this game against Tampa.
Senior night here for the Tars. It's going to be an emotional night for a lot of families and a lot of players out there on the court. We talked to Brooks Cluxton's parents before the game. They talked about what this means to him and this moment means for the team as a whole.
He loves his team. He loves his teammates. He loves Coach Klusman. And this is going to be a night that he gives 100% effort. We don't like to use that term 110%, right? But if there's any night that would be given, it's here tonight, trying to prevent this from being his last home game as a Rollins Star.
Moments away from the seniors being honored here behind us. We'll have that for you in just a bit. Once again, KJ Doyle, Alfonso McCree on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Warner Arena inside the All-Fun Sports Center for today's Sunshine State Conference men's basketball game between the visiting Tampa Spartans and your Rollins College Tars. Ladies and gentlemen, before we meet tonight's starters, we'd like to take a moment to honor the outstanding seniors competing in tonight's contest. First, for the visiting Tampa Spartans, Brent Duncan, Derek Fielder, Caleb Karn, Martin Walker, and Tate Oliver. Congratulations to all your accomplishments as student athletes in the Sunshine State Conference. And now let's meet the seniors for your Rollins College Tars. First up forward from Oviedo, Florida, number 12, Brooks Cluxton. He has been named the SSC Defensive Player of the Week multiple times during his time with the Blue and Gold. Brooks currently ranks 3rd in the SSC in blocks and 2nd in rebounding. He has registered 10 doubles as a senior while also tallying a career high in points with 25. Ladies and gentlemen, Brooks Cluxton. Kentucky. Number 5, Jake Gunn. He has appeared in 36 games for Rollins, making 41 starts. He has averaged 10 points a game during his time in the Blue and Gold, while also grabbing 140, counting 56 steals. 145 assists. As a senior, he is leading Rollins and ranks 9th in the SSC in assists, while ranking 3rd in the conference in assist to turnover ratio. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Gunn. Ladies and gentlemen, for the final time in the quarter, North Korea inside the All Sports Center, your Rollins men's basketball graduating class of 2022. At this time, we ask you all please rise as we honor our nation and remember our men and women serving around the world in the playing of our national anthem. Gentlemen, please remove your caps.
Welcome into the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. KJ Doyle once again joined by the lovely and talented Alfonso McCree. And Alfonso,
You flatter me.
this is going to be a massive game for the Tars, for Tampa, whoever comes out victorious. A lot riding on this game for the Sunshine State Conference standings, for the tournament, for potentially the NCAA Division II tournament. This game, we know, former Rollins alum Gus Ramsey told us that this used to be a rivalry back in the day, and you have to imagine the rivalry will be reignited tonight with everything that's on the line.
Absolutely. And look at this crowd right now. You want to know why that's important? You want to know why I'm pointing that out? Because this is the same crowd that Rollins has the potential to see again if they win this game, move into the 4th seed, and put themselves in position for a home game in the SSC tournament.
And the tip getting set, and we're underway. Rollins tip to Kyle Marion right on the break, and that's how you get it started. A little unexpected tip there from Brooks Cluxton. That's what they didn't have last time against Tampa. Right to Kyle Marion for the 2.
That's a brilliant play, and Brooks Cluxton already showing how his presence is going to affect the game.
Brooks Cluxton returned 8 games ago. Rollins has won 6 of 8 since his return, 7 of their last 9 overall. They've been on quite the run lately.
Rollins is 19-26 all time versus Tampa, KJ. So this is a perfect time right now to catch up in that department.
3-pointer is knocked down, and we have a 3-2 lead early on for Tampa. Rollins gets their offense back on the other end. Brooks Cluxton, Rollins swinging around top. There's the leading scorer, Hutton Yanor, driving into the paint, and the 2 falls. Hutton Yanor, since Christmas, his points per game average up 7 points. Post-Christmas, it's been 24.3 points per game. Before that, 17.3. Tremendous improvement from him.
If he's got that touch working for him, KJ, it's going to be a lot more than just that.
And
man.
Hard foul on the other end. Cade Long going for the box out. Tampa hit the floor. And Alfonso, a brutal fall there, but Cade Long maybe slipped under him a little bit, but just trying to box out. What did you see there?
Honestly, that looked like an electric slide. Nothing intentional right there, obviously, but just, incidental contact right there. Thankfully, Lakovic is okay. He's been one of the key players, actually, for this team, the 3-headed monster. Last time these guys played, Lakovic had 23 points against these Stars.
A season high. You mentioned not having Brooks Cluxton, a big reason for that. Rollins feels like it's going to be much different with him being in the paint here today. And there's Cluxton showing a little bit of his offensive touch with the fadeaway in the post.
KJ, he's getting to work early, and he's getting to work often.
Tampa went down to Lakovic very often in that last game without the presence of Brooks Cluxton. They decided to have their way in the paint, and he certainly did, but the game plan might be a little bit different this time around with Cluxton there, as the jumper is good for mid-range, showing, hey, I don't need to go inside. As Lateo hits the mid-range jumper, you can't go inside against Brooks Cluxton. Space it out a little bit.
You love to see the mid-range shot go down. People say it's a lost start. I disagree. I think it's just being, put into offenses in different ways than it used to.
Down low now, Rollins looking for an opening back outside.
That was great positioning there by Tampa. That should have been an easy layup for Rollins, but they took away the angle.
Hutton Yanor short, and Max Jones with the rebound. Had 10 of those last time. You mentioned in the open, 30 points, 10 rebounds for Max Jones. As Tampa turns it over, looked like a foot on the line there from Mekhi Brown, and so it'll go the other way back to Rollins. 6-5 lead early on in this one. But once again, Rollins going to have to make sure to try to contain Max Jones, returning from injury. Got started with the 3 early on, making sure not to miss a beat. But we'll see if he's able to continue to not show any of that signs of rust despite missing a few games here in the recent weeks.
The great players, they have an ability to find themselves right back in the swing of things pretty early. Rust isn't really a factor for them. Wow, what a shot right there. My goodness.
Speaking of the great players, Hutton Yanor with the pull-up from mid-range. He's got 4 early points. We'll see if that trend continues. Once again, the senior Hutton Yanor just showing tremendous improvement, becoming one of the very best players in the conference, certainly one of the best scorers, and especially these last 2 months. My goodness. The pull-up jumper from mid-range.
It's a little bit of a late whistle right there, KJ, I think, but I still think it was a good call. Cluxton fell into him.
The foul comes, will send Tampa to the line. Mekhi Brown going to shoot these. On the season, only shooting about 50% from the free throw line. He knocks the first one down.
Now, if I'm Rollins, I'm trying to clog the paint here, okay? Tampa's obviously showed that they want to take it inside early. but you have to force them. You have to force them to shoot the outside shot. They're only shooting 35% as a team from three-point range this season. It's not good. It's not the worst I've ever seen, but I like my chances better if I'm making them shoot that outside shot.
When you look at the statistics in the conference, that's lower and middle of the pack, right around there. Rollins sitting in 4th in the conference with 37.1% from deep.
But you know what? That's why the presence of Brooks Cluxton is so important, because he clogs up the middle. Oh, my gosh.
Kyle Marion getting it started. Of course, the second leading scorer for Rollins behind Hutton Yanor, Marion. And that little mid-range turnaround shot's been going for Rollins early on.
I mean, what did I tell you? Mid-range game is not a lost art. It's just different nowadays.
You did tell me that. I keep forgetting every time you tell me that. Speaking of, mid-range jumper there.
Another one. That's 5. That's 5 that can count that I've seen so far between both teams. Really putting that into their offensive system right now and making it work. Tampa playing into their strengths. They know they're not the strongest three-point shooting team, so they're taking a couple of dribbles and getting it inside.
And the Rollins offense working very efficiently right now. You saw last time Lateo getting back, clapping, trying to get his defense going, but Rollins finding a lot of the holes to attack right now. Another pull-up jumper from Brown, no good. Rebound. K. Long will take it up the court, now gets it to Marion. Marion hiding behind that Brooks Cluxton screen. He's tall enough. You can try and duck under him.
A bit of an unorthodox screen right there.
K. Long couldn't handle that pass. Now Tampa runs in transition.
Oh, nice swing out.
Corner 3 from Brown. Oh, he's getting his shot attempts up early. Dayton Gum now trying to go 1-on-5, going right into the paint. Dayton Gum cannot finish.
If I trust anybody to do that, it's him. He has the hops and he has the finishing ability, but not a shot that you want to take. You want to kind of slow that down at the top of the key and work your way around in the half-court offense.
Dayton Gum, a tremendous athlete, can run in transition there. Him and Cade Long run into each other. Cade Long gets fouled. The layup goes.
I think they're calling it on the floor.
And they do call it on the floor. The worry for Rollins. It seemed like he picked the dribble up, but that's such a bang-bang play. Really tough to make that call for the officials.
Yeah.
We're going to get a timeout here from Rollins. Take a quick break. We'll be right back with the rest of senior night and perhaps the biggest game Rollins will play in the entire regular season. So much riding on it. We'll be right back. KJ Doyle, Alfonso McCree on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We are back on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. KJ Doyle joined by the lovely Alfonso McCree. And Alfonso, coming into this game, not only the matchup with Tampa, we mentioned the rivalry with these two teams that existed in the past. Two men that have been very familiar with that rivalry. Tom Klusman, the head coach for Rollins, and Richard Schmidt, the head coach for Tampa. Both been there with their respective teams for a combined 41 years. They probably coached against each other over 100 times. Very familiar with how they coach and their style to play of each of their teams.
They're playing chess, not checkers. They know each other too well to play checkers. So it's not just going to be a game of attacking. It's going to be a game of adjusting. They both know exactly what they're doing. That's why they play each other so tough. Only a 9-point difference in their first game of the season. So
it's so rare to see a coaching matchup like that with two coaches that have stood the test of time with their respective teams and been there for so long. It's very, very impressive for both of them to have been there for quite some time. As Kyle Marion pulls up from mid-range, no good, and Tampa will take it the other way.
And to your point, when you don't have a coaching advantage because you both have so much experience and you've won so many games, both of you, it comes down to your roster. It really comes down to the players. The coaches are going to put them in the best positions to succeed. They both have to execute.
Pull-up from 3 is pure. Williams knocks it down and ties the game up at 12 apiece. Back and forth battle as we expected so far. 5
points for Williams already. Trying to stamp his mark.
Use that screen from Cluxton, get right into the paint. Little floater, no good. Cluxton fighting for the offensive board, cannot get the putback. Tampa will pull it down and run.
Great defense there by Tampa. Swarming Cluxton after the offensive rebound, not allowing the second chance points.
Another corner 3 from Williams, and he is deadly so far in this game. Those shots didn't even hit the rim, just so pure. I don't know if they hit the net.
You know it's a great shot when you can't even see the ball actually go through the net. You just see the net kind of move just a little bit.
It looks like the type of 3 that would go in when you set those 2K sliders to 100, and it's just automatically everything's going in. It's pure.
Perfect release.
Gives Tampa the 15-12 lead. Dayton Gum going to try it from outside. That bun is a little bit short, and we get a foul call on Brooks Cluxton. Not happy about it. Looks like that's the second foul early on Brooks, and we mentioned the fact that Brooks not able to participate in the matchup last time around. That loss of him, that his absence played a huge role, and now has to take a seat with 2 fouls.
And Tampa's going to take advantage of this, or they're at least going to try. Now, I don't know how much success that they'll have. Rollins will make their adjustments as well, but Brooks Cluxton, he's such a big body, but you know what? So is Woods. And Woods is in there taking the spot of Cluxton right now. He's going to try to play that same role.
And we talked about coming in how great it was going to be for Rollins to have Brooks Cluxton back for this matchup. And now we'll see if Tampa, maybe a game plan a little bit to get him into foul trouble. It didn't seem obviously an offensive foul on that one. Hard to act like they were attacking him. As Hutton-Ynor gets into the lane, that's going to be a shooting foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
Absolutely.
We see Lakovic back in there for Tampa. He just pulled up from 3, but we know the kind of damage he can do inside the paint if Tampa decides to go in that direction.
One of my keys to victory for the Tars is get to the line. Get to the line. They're a good free throw shooting team. And they really play their best ball when they're driving into the paint. They have athletic freaks at the guard positions.
The second highest free throw percentage in the conference, first among teams expected to make the tournament in the SSC. So, as you mentioned, one of the best free throw shooting teams you'll find in the division in the country.
This is a Tars team that has potential to go deep into the NCAA tournament. And when you think about the teams that they've defeated throughout the season, a lot of ranked teams. So Rollins, yes, sometimes they can be streaky, a little inconsistent, but at the foundation, they have the talent necessary to knock off anybody.
Hutton-Ynor 6th in the conference among qualifiers in free throw percentage, one of the very best. 3-pointers up and off. Tampa letting it fly from 3 early on. Kyle Marion now trying to take advantage. Tampa going to set their defense, and Rollins will get back to the half court. Sergei Grisev into the game now, just handling it up top. Little handoff to Cade Long, going to try to drive in. The dump off, little spin move for the hook shot underneath, won't go. And Tampa will take it the other way.
Good attempt there by Woods. Just better defense there by Tampa.
3-pointer is up and will not go. Once again, that's 3 straight misses from deep for Tampa.
Tampa's 3 for 9 so far from the 3-point line. 33%, so right on schedule of what their season average typically is.
That one for Kyle Marion is off. Will find its way out of bounds, and Tampa will inbound. Just under 8 minutes gone by in the first half. Tampa with a 15-14 lead early on. Alfonso, we thought it would be a battle. We thought it would be close. And everything early on is pointing to that fact that it's going to stay that way.
I would be surprised if this doesn't continue. These teams just play each other so well. I don't expect anybody to pull away until the very end of the game when free throws start to play a factor, fouling, all that stuff. But these teams, they understand what's at stake. Nobody's going to let this one get too far away.
Looks like we're going to get a kickball violation and a timeout for Tampa. Once again, Alfonso, just over 8 minutes gone by now. And senior night, we know The crowd is here. We had a few times earlier on in the season where they had a delay or the ability for fans to be in attendance for games like these, but I think everybody just so happy that we can be here for senior night. They can pack the arena out. One of the biggest crowds Rollins has had all season for one of the biggest games they're going to play, and it just has that feel that this is going to be a game that is going to matter a lot to a lot of people, not just the seniors, but the fans, as we really get back to a situation where they can cheer on their Rollins Stars.
I mean, you can really feel the atmosphere. I mean, the fans are into it. The student section is buzzing. And even Brooks Cluxton's parents talked about it with us earlier, how important it is for that crowd, that energy to be there, because this team does feed off of it. You know who else feeds off of it? The road team, honestly. Like, a lot of road teams like being the villains on the road. It's good for everybody. It's great for everybody, actually.
And it was so often that we would see these road teams come in here, and their benches would get up, and it would feel like they were trying to make it their home arena because they didn't have fans to compete with.
Exactly.
And they came in with that kind of mindset. So it's nice to have that real home court advantage, you know, when the fans are all in attendance. But you mentioned Brooks Cluxton parents couldn't have been nicer. Had a nice conversation with us about him and his time here at Rollins, and they mentioned, I mean, when they've been allowed to, they've tried to go to every game. They tried to go there. They went out to Las Vegas even to watch him play. This could be one of the final games they get a chance to see that happen. Certainly one of the final games here at Rollins at the very least. And mentioned, you know, the possibility he could always look overseas, but he has another opportunity just job-wise here in the States, and it's really hard to explore that. So you think about having a basketball journey that lasts 20 years and your parents coming along with you on that journey, and the idea of it all coming to an end, it's so bittersweet.
Yeah, and senior nights are always emotional, but they bring out the best in everybody because you know the clock is winding down a bit. You have a lot to fight for here.
So it looks like we're going to get a call and a foul on Sergei Grisev. Looks like it's going to be a blocking foul.
You talk about a guy with a lot of potential. You talk about Sergei Grisev. You talk about his court vision. He's an underrated passer. Now, you know, Coach Klusman has said that, you know, he needs to put on some weight, get the weight room, you know, build some muscle and everything like that. But he really does have the foundation to be an excellent player in this league.
The sophomore Brian Williams with another three, up to 11 points so far in this game. He is taking over, having one of his best games of the season.
Miscommunication right there.
And Williams, you know, when we talked about the fact that Max Jones had to miss the last few games, he really took that opportunity and ran with it when Max Jones was out and they needed another scorer to step up. Last time out, despite losing to Barry, he dropped 30 points. The game before that against Florida Southern, 20 points. And now even with Max Jones returning to the lineup, showing he's still going to maintain that role as one of the team's go-to options offensively and has been great so far.
You know, when your number one option does go down like that, it does give you an opportunity to take more shots and heat up and find yourself. And he's clearly found himself, and he's clearly not, you know, wanting to let that die out just because, you know, they have returning players. He wants to be an essential part of this offense as well.
Alfonso, you noticed on that last rebound, might have seen a familiar face. Brooks Cluxton back into the game with the ball now with 2 fouls. Coach Klusman clearly not wanting to keep him on the bench for too long, but going to be risky. Going to have to make sure he doesn't pick up another one here in the first half. He sets the screen for Cade Long, who misses the mid-range jumper.
Well, Coach Klusman put him right back in right after the turnover from Woods on the miscommunication on the pass where Yanor was cutting towards the basket and Woods didn't see it coming. And another 3.
Williams again. That was a heat check. He was 3 or 4 feet off the three-point line. He wanted it, and really attacking that zone just by standing way outside the arc, making Rollins come out and guard him. He has been absolutely on fire in this one.
It's been about 3 minutes since the Tars scored their last point. The foul right there is exactly what the Tars needed. Get to the line, get to the line, get to the line.
And Cluxton will be the one getting to the line here. One of the better free throw shooters for a big man in the conference as well. We mentioned how good the team is at scoring, and Cluxton from the free throw line, one of the best, especially at his size.
That's a valuable asset to have as a big man because you know when you're in the paint trying to put up a whole bunch of layups, you're going to get hacked a lot. Okay, so odds are you're going to be at the free throw line a lot more than other positions are. You have to be able to knock down those free throws. Cluxton has shown his ability to do that.
Williams, guess what? Already over his season average in scoring. We're not even a quarter way through this game, halfway through the first half, and he's already surpassed the season average, clearly playing with a ton of confidence right now.
as Cluxton misses that free throw, but he might be going for a season high here today. He's trying to do something special. He understands what's at stake.
Posted a season high just last time out with 30 points. It's funny, before this stretch that started with Nova Southeastern, which that was the game Max Jones went down for. Max Jones went down halfway through that game, and Williams came in and he scored 14 points in that one. Since then has had 6 straight in double digits. Before that this season, only had 4 games in double digits for the entire rest of the year. So we kind of wondered if Max Jones returning would limit that scoring ability for Williams. Hasn't been the case. That one goes around the world and in a little bit there.
You know, the ending to the scoring drought wasn't going to come too easy. But Rollins is still right there. You know, it's crazy. You don't score for 3 minutes and you only trail by 6 points right now.
21-15, just past the halfway mark of the first half, and that pass goes wild and out of bounds. Rollins down 6, 2 possessions here. So Williams really stepping up for Tampa. The question now is who's going to bring Rollins back into this one?
Well, Rollins is going to need to get their three-point shots going. They haven't hit a 3 yet. They're 0 for 3. They've been shooting decently from the field, 6 for 15, but the threes just aren't falling.
Brooks Cluxton going to run it from the high point. Now just going to pull up from mid-range and will not go. Tampa will take it back the other way. Looked in the corner, pulls it back out.
Don't leave them open.
Three-pointer up from Brown. It is good, and Rollins going to take a timeout. Tampa, 6 of 12 now from deep in this first half so far. They've been electric. We saw on these last 2 possessions, actually, Rollins switching to a 1-3-1 to try to combat that attack from outside. Not working so well as you see 2 straight possessions with a 3. What should they look for to try to answer this perimeter brigade of three-pointers we're seeing from Tampa?
I really think it's just about closing out on the shooters. I've seen way too many wide open shot attempts from the top of the key, from the wing, from the side. It's too many. You have to put a hand in the shooter's face. If you don't put a hand in the shooter's face, of course they're going to have an easy three-point shot attempt. Now, this team, as I mentioned, is not one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league. Just make it tough for them. Just make it tough for them. Close out. Give them a smaller gap to release their shot, and you should be fine.
And Tampa, 2 for 6 on three-pointers outside of, guess who? Williams. Williams, 4 of 6 himself from outside, so he's carrying a lot of that load, and it's going to be on Rollins to try to adjust and see how they're going to attack him. Max Jones out of the game right now for Tampa, which is very interesting. We mentioned him potentially dealing with an injury, and I feel like maybe what we're seeing a little bit out there right now is, hey, you know, Max Jones may be a little bit hobbled, so if Williams is going to carry us, then we're just going to let him do so. And we're used to him playing such a high workload in terms of minutes. Under 39 points, we get the block, and out of bounds it'll stay with Rollins. But we're used to Max Jones playing up there 30, 35, 40 minutes per game even. And I guess Tampa, with the injury and with the way Williams is playing, not feeling the need to do that.
Well, when you have a player that's on fire like Williams is right now, that gives you the opportunity to save Jones for the second half. Most of his productivity can come in that area instead of right now where you hold a comfortable 9-point lead and Rollins still searching for answers on the offensive end. You don't really need Jones's offensive productivity as much as you normally would.
Max Jones averaging 32.5 minutes per game, just resting for 7.5 of those minutes in each individual game. Hutton, you know, we're going to pull up from mid-range, and that one will not go. Brooks Cluxton, the offensive rebound. A couple defenders around him, and the foul will be called. As you see Lakovic there falling back a little bit, might have got hit in the jaw, but the call will go Cluxton's way, and he'll go back to the line.
Incidental contact again right there. The Cluxton was definitely fouled. So Lakovic is okay, man. He's been taking a beating so far in this game.
Cluxton 1 for 2 at the line so far in this game. And misses that one. So 1 for 3. Cluxton's down to, now we mentioned he's a pretty good free throw shooter. Came into today 80% from the line, 40 of 50 on his free throw attempts this season. 1 for 3 so far in this game. A little surprising.
Well, he's a little bit off tonight, you can tell. His shots aren't falling like they normally do, but I believe the more shots that he takes, the more he'll heat up, the more he'll get into a rhythm.
Knocks down the second one, 24-16. Tampa leads. And a chance to extend this to double digits here with a bucket. Aggressive defense from Rollins, send the double team, leave the shooters. Three-pointer is up from Tampa, no good.
They closed out on that one.
Right you are, Alfonso, great closeout. Cade Long will take it the other way, drive right into the basket. kick it back out, and Rollins will set up their half-court offense.
Just got to keep swinging it around. A couple of times here they've taken a shot that's been ill-advised.
Cade Long going to take that pull-up from 3, a little long for Long, and Tampa will pull it down.
Looked good coming out of his hand, though. Just hit the back rim.
Certainly close. Tampa mid-range pull-up jumper is pure.
Can't play better defense than that. That's just an incredible shot there by Harvey.
Harvey hits it from the free throw line for his first bucket of the game. Has 4 assists so far. Has been setting up Williams nicely. That one his first shot attempt, and it goes down. Hutton-Unor has his man slip a little bit. That's Max Jones back out there for Tampa. Hutton-Unor, strong hands.
Rollins trying to create those three-point shot attempts. So they only have 4 so far compared to Tampa's 13. Oh,
great
nice steal right there.
Gum.
Oh, we're going to see something special.
Back ahead.
Yes, sir.
And a big slam from Dayton Gum. Great play by both Gum to knock it away, and Hutton-Unor diving on the floor to tip that ahead to him on the break.
Those hustle plays. That's what's going to make the big difference in a game like this. These teams are very evenly matched.
And Unor is going to get called for the kick on that one. Almost had a chance at another steal in the breakaway. And it looks like Tampa's going to want to talk this one over after 2 offensive possessions that don't start the way they exactly were planning on them to start it.
You know, just speaking on that kickball that was called right there, I've always felt that if the offensive player passes it off of the defender's foot, that shouldn't be called a kickball. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion.
The Rollins offense really needs to start get going. That was their first field goal attempt, that Dayton Gum layup. First field goal attempt in their last 14 shots. Had gone 0 of 13 before that dunk. Maybe it's a situation where it's just good to see the ball go in the basket, but I mean, if you miss 13 straight and then you're on the fast break layup, if you miss that one, it gets really bad. That was a gimme. So
that's a momentum dunk right there. That's what that is.
So what does Rollins need to do here, Alfonso? What are you seeing from them on the offensive end that isn't working?
Well, Tampa's just doing such a great job fighting through all the screens that they're trying to set. They're really struggling creating open three-point shots. And Cluxton's been very off inside. So when you have a performance like that, it allows the defense to slack off you a little bit in the paint, which allows them to cover the three-point shot a little bit more. So I really think it all starts with Cluxton. He's got to find a way to start knocking these shots down to open up the perimeter game.
You mentioned the three-pointer attempts earlier. Rollins 0 for 4 so far on those, opting for the mid-range jump shots, not falling. Tampa, 13 three-point attempts already, a massive disparity. We know it's not all about the number of three-point attempts, but we always talk about the game of math in basketball nowadays, analytics, the three-point shot, the evolution of that, every team shooting more three-pointers. It feels like when you're getting outshot like that, going to be tough to come back from.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they weren't expecting Tampa to be hitting the threes like they have been so far, but they have been, so you have to make adjustments.
And Rollins, a very good three-point shooting team. We mentioned 4th in the conference in three-point percentage, a better team by percentage than Tampa has been this season. So you have to imagine that will change at some point in this game as Tampa finds Max Jones underneath the basket, going to get fouled by Hutton-Unor. And Tampa working it outside the perimeter, have Max Jones cut to the paint and find him underneath for a wide-open layup, if not for Hutton-Unor coming over and committing that foul. So 2 at the line.
Yeah, potentially dangerous play right there. Glad everybody's okay. We've already seen one hard fall here today. Could have saw another one there from Unor, and he was way, way up there. I didn't know he had that much of a vertical. My goodness.
Max Jones, we mentioned earlier, 2nd in the conference in points per game. Had to miss the last 5 games, had to leave halfway through the Nova Southeastern game, but returns here tonight with his team struggling, losers of 3 straight, to try to propel them to a much-needed victory. These last 3 that they've dropped have caused them to fall within just a half game of Rollins. Now, Tampa has 3 more games in conference left to play after tonight. Rollins just 2, so that half game will be critical. If they can potentially, at worst, even if they lose tonight, they can still control their own destiny to force a tie, but Williams pulls up for mid-range go. But a lot riding on this game, and so far Tampa taking advantage with Max Jones back. You have to wonder if part of his thinking in returning was just how big this game is going to be for Tampa.
First of all, that was beautiful ball handling there. Oh, my goodness!
Dayton Gum with a baseline drive and another slam. So 2 dunks, the last 2 baskets for Rollins, both from Dayton Gum. And if that's the best offense you got, I don't think that's such a bad idea. Just Dayton Gum driving to the basket, getting the throwdowns.
I mean, you talk about getting the crowd involved in that. That's how you do it. That's how you get them involved in the game. And now you see the student section. They understand they have the potential to go on a nice run here as Gum
again. Dayton Gum with a driving layup. One of the players honored before the game for senior night. He's not going to let this be spoiled for himself, bringing Rollins right back into it.
Got to close out on those threes. They just did that right there, forcing him inside.
Brown won't go. Ball's tipped out to Kyle Marion. Rollins on the break again. Ooh, Kyle Marion tried to slip it in there to Yanor. Just turns it over. Williams now gets a driving lane, going to get fouled and thrown up, hit the shot clock.
Never seen that before.
I don't know. I didn't see the shot clock wiggle. But Rollins struggling to get back on defense there, and Williams had a driving lane to the basket and cut him off. It caused a foul, and now he's getting to the line. So you saw Rollins running in transition, but got to get back on defense too, make sure that stuff doesn't happen.
Well, when sudden turnovers like that happen, you end up on your heels, and the defensive team can switch to offensive pass break very, very quickly. So it wasn't a lot. There wasn't a lot that Rollins could do.
Did we just hear some singing from the Rollins student section?
I believe we did.
They've been standing up, I think, all game. Can we decipher what exactly they're singing? I want to hear another rendition of that earlier. I think we have a lot of musical theater majors in the stands for Rollins. We must. Has some beautiful voices. But
whatever that was, it didn't work very well.
Didn't appear to. As we're going to get a substitution. Williams, the leading scorer for the Tampa Spartans, coming out. So we'll see if Rollins can make the most of that. Their leading scorer out of the game quickly here.
If you're the Tars, you got to be happy to see him taking a little bit of a break.
Absolutely. 5.5 minutes left to go in the first half. 30-22, Tampa leads. Cade Long trying to find the baseline action on this one. Layup won't go. Gets the ball back. And Kyle Marion will pull up from three. And Rollins still cannot get the lid to come off the basket from distance.
Didn't have a chance to really set his feet right there. Shot that one on the move.
Pass fake now down low for Tampa, and the layup is good from Lakovic. His first points in this one, as we mentioned, the big game for him last time out against Rollins.
Now, if you just looked at the field goals attempted and the field goals made, you would say, okay, so this can't be a double-digit game right now. Only 10 shots made for Tampa, 9 made for Rollins, but the difference is Rollins hasn't been able to get their three-point shot going. But they have been able to get their interior game going.
Brooks Pluxton with the hook shot. Nice work in the post to get that one to fall. Cut it back to single digits. Max Jones now looking for that shooter in the corner. Wide open. Brown for three.
Got to close out. Got to close out.
Brown up to 2 3-pointers here tonight. Kyle Marion will go the other way. And a little offhand layup action from Marion.
One heck of a screen there set by Cluxton to free him up. And a nice finger roll, finesse touch.
Beautiful job to get by the big man there for that layup. Max Jones, another little pass fake, gets it to the corner. Tampa going to swing it around.
Doing a great job closing out on the shooters this possession.
Lakovic finding Brown, pump fake. Marion's going to commit the foul, though. Going for the steal, aggressive defensive play. But just runs into his legs, and they're going to give the call to Tampa on that one. Looks like we're going to get another timeout. 3:48 to go in the first half. We're going to take another short break. Rollins Tars against the Tampa Spartans. You're watching it on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We'll be right back.
Sergey.
We are back on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. KJ Doyle here with Alfonso McCree. And Alfonso, what defensive adjustments do you think we might be seeing from Rollins here? I know you just mentioned something about the substitutions that stuck out to you.
Yeah, you know, I have a brilliant mentor named Gus Ramsey.
Okay.
And he drops nuggets every now and then, and he's mentioned
An avid
multiple
Rollins
times.
basketball
Avid
fan.
Rollins basketball fan. He's mentioned, you know, that in the 1-3-1, when a shooter's getting hot, Coach Kuzman likes to use that zone to try to slow them down, to put Sergei Grisham at the top of the key to just close out on the shooter. He has such great length,
Yes,
and he
absolutely.
has such great closing speed as well, that he's really an asset to stopping those three-point attempts.
It's going to be something to watch on the next defensive possession. Rollins finds themselves down 11 right now. And a lot of substitutions in the game for Rollins. Calhert coming in along with Grisev. Dayton Gum now at the top, running things for Rollins. The two-headed monster down low for Rollins right now, Cluxton and Grisev. A lot of size out there as Cluxton's going to get fouled by Williams.
A beautiful pass there.
Williams picks up his first foul of the game. Back into the game, only about a 2-minute stretch on the bench for Williams. Has, of course, 16 points early on in this one, and we thought maybe going to sit down for the rest of the half, maybe get a short break. Nope, right back up off the bench and back in. When you're scoring like that, you don't want to cool off too much.
Yeah, ballers like him only need about a 2-minute rest, if that. So he'll be fine. He'll finish this first half strong. He's been playing so well. I'm so impressed with just his shot selection and his ability to knock down his open attempts as well.
Cluxton knocks down that free throw. So Rollins pulls back within 9 once again. Williams going to take it up the court for Tampa. And that 1-3-1 we're seeing, but Grisev not at the top, more so in the corner. So we're going to get a whistle and another foul call. This one looks like it'll be on the floor, but a 1-and-1 for Williams. So he'll go to the line.
He's 2 for 2 from the line today, so I'm not really expecting a miss here. I'm expecting 2 free throws. So if you're Rollins, you want to try to narrow this lead down to 5 points before halftime. That's your goal right now.
Tampa perfect from the line today, 9 of 9 now after that make. You mentioned the fact that Williams hasn't missed today. None of them missed today. And
He just threw it up there. Look at the form.
Well, I tried my best to do the announcer's jinx, but it didn't work. 10 for 10 for Tampa at the free throw line. Rollins will take it the other way. Dayton Gum now being guarded by Williams.
I try so hard on my free throws when I'm practicing, and they're never that effortless, and they usually don't go in. So
Williams went for the steal, almost got it, but stays in defensive position. Nice job by him not to let Gum get the lane. We saw what happens when Gum gets the lane earlier. So you definitely don't want that to happen if you're Tampa. The bounce pass goes off Tampa, almost set up Brooks Cluxton nicely underneath. There'll be 6 on the shot clock for the Tars here. Got to work quick.
their pick and rolls and their give and goes have been effective today. They just have to knock down the shots, obviously. But Tampa also doing a great job closing the lanes as Gum takes that three. Oh, man.
Gum off from three, couldn't even catch iron, and the cold spell continues for Rollins from deep. 0 for 6 so far in this one.
Again, Rollins just struggling to create open three-point shots. A few of their three-point shots have been off the dribble.
Hutton Yanor and Kyle Marion, the scoring punch coming back in, and Rollins could use a scoring punch right now, so certainly a welcome sight. And Rollins going to go with a press defensively here as well.
See how this works out for them here. Again, they want to finish this first half strong. You got 2:40 left to go on the clock. There's plenty of time to narrow this lead down. For Tampa, there's your opportunity to extend it, to really go into the second half with all the momentum in your pocket.
Tampa going to swing it around up top. Looks like Rollins might have gone back to a 2-3 defense here. The mid-range pull-up is no good from Williams.
Well, Williams does such a great job of just creating his shot. I mean, another wide-open mid-range there off the dribble, just from him having the vision and the creativity to create.
Hutton Yanor finds Gum after not catching iron in the last three. The corner, a much more comfortable spot. Nets it from there. The first three-pointer of the game for Rollins, finally.
And it was open, right? He had a chance to set his feet. He wasn't moving on the shot, and he knocked it down.
Max Jones drives all the way to the basket. He gets the layup to go. And tried to get a quick transition bucket there to Hutton Yanor. Saved it. You mentioned it there. Pretty impressive save while falling out of bounds to get that one to Cluxton.
That was an unbelievable pass.
Looks like we might have got a foul called at some point while Cluxton was going up to catch that pass. So he'll go to the line here. Cluxton, 4 free throw attempts already in this one. Sorry, 6 free throw attempts already. These will be his 7th and 8th of the game. 4 of 6 so far. First one of the 1-and-1 is good. You mentioned the goal here for Rollins, trying to cut it to 5. This free throw would cut it to 8. And those 3-pointers, just 1 so far in the first half. They average about 10 per game, so certainly not too late to start pacing and going back in the right direction. But 0 of 6, not the way you want to start things.
Right, and last game they finished the first half against St. Leo on a big run. They want to do the exact same thing right here.
Again, Rollins back in the 2-3 zone. Tampa doing a great job passing it around, trying to find the gaps there. You mentioned the mid-range jumpers. They're finding the 3-pointers. All of that becoming available to them with a great ball movement.
Williams is open. Harvey, wow.
And with 2 on the shot clock, Harvey pulls up from mid-range and nets it. Lead back to 10 points for Tampa. That offense keeps driving forward for Tampa. Rollins keeps making these defensive adjustments. Nothing seems to be working.
Well, let's just say Rollins is a second-half team. We saw what they did last game. We saw their defensive improvements. They could end up doing something very similar here in the second half.
Rollins went on a 13-0 run, starting at the end of the first half last game, finishing in the second half. So we'll see, maybe something similar could be starting here as the layup is good from Lakovic and 1.
Yeah, Tampa's going to finish this first half very strong.
But Rollins, you mentioned it, down 14 in the last one against St. Leo. So a team that has made their fair share of comebacks this season, and you can't count them out even when they do find themselves down by double digits to Tampa in the first half.
I mean, again, the problem is Rollins hasn't been able to really put up their 3-point shots like they normally do. Tampa has doubled the amount of attempts from 3-point range that the Tars have been able to create.
3 personal fouls for the Tars' second leading scorer, Kyle Marion, in the first half. He finds himself on the bench to close things out here. Sergei Gursev trying to find Hutton Yanor. Working up top. Rollins continuing to pass it around. Yanor gets the screen, but Brown doing a great job staying with him. Incredible defensive effort there.
Absolutely.
10 on the shot clock. They're just going to go Cluxton in the paint. Hook shot won't go. Rebound into the hands of Tampa. You
Gotta
mentioned
have a
it.
good defensive possession here.
Tampa playing incredible defense so far on Rollins, being able to fight through those screens, stay with them, get back in a timely fashion as well. 2 on the shot, or 2 on the game clock as Gursev just throws it up. That's going to be off, and that is going to end the first half. 46-33. Spartans lead. Alfonso, what went wrong there for the Tars in the first half?
Again, 1 for 7 from 3. But I'm not even concerned about the amount that they've made. I'm concerned about the amount that they've been able to attempt. Tampa has done such a phenomenal job in that first half of just taking that shot completely away. I mean, when you talk about, the 3-point shot, there's a lot of pick and rolls. There's a lot of, give and goes that go into that, cutting into the lane, kicking it back out. Rollins hasn't been able to do that. Now, in the second half, we could see something like we saw against St. Leo last time out. Tampa's shooting 47% from the 3-point line in this first half. Last time out, the Tars slashed it in half for St. Leo. Okay, it went from 50 to 25. Could they do the same thing to the Spartans here in the second half? They're going to need to if they want a chance to come back in this game.
Hopefully they can. Alfonso, once again, senior night here. You don't want to spoil senior night. They got to make something happen in the second half. We'll see if they can do it. We're going to take about a 14-minute break, and then we'll be back for the second half. Grab some popcorn, grab some Gatorade, whatever you need at the halftime break, and we'll be right back for more Rollins basketball versus the Tampa Spartans. KJ Doyle with Alfonso McCree, the lovely Alfonso McCree, on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We'll be back for the second half. Welcome back into the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. KJ Doyle, joined by the incredible Alfonso McCree.
You flatter me again.
I'm going to try to keep coming up with different adjectives. I'll do my best. Wonderful, talented, incredible Alfonso McCree. And Alfonso, the first half come and gone. And I know you're banking on Rollins being a second half team because they find themselves down 13 here on senior night, giving up 46 first half points to Tampa. An awful lot for them on the scoreboard and shooting incredibly.
Look, I don't do sports betting, but tonight I'm breaking my rule, okay? I'm betting the Tars are going to flip the narrative in the second half.
Okay.
Everything's going to reverse. The Tars are going to find more open three-point shots. Tampa's going to start missing them, et cetera, okay? It's going to be very similar to the St. Leo game. Now, in order to make that happen, right, because it can't just happen, in order to make that happen, Rollins, they've got to get a little bit more creative offensively to create those shots. Now, Brooks Cluxton, he's been doing his best to, control things on the inside. I mentioned that if he starts making shots, it opens up everything else. That still remains to be true. Cluxton has to shoot more and shoot better. 2 for 5 only. Yes, he's made 6 free throws. He should continue to get to the line and do things like that. But we're going to need more out of Cluxton if the Tars are going to come away with this victory here tonight.
And Tampa on the season shooting 45.5% from the field, 35, just above 35 from the deep, 70 from the line. In the first half, those numbers skyrocketed. 48 from the field, 47 nearly from 3, and 100% from the line. So Rollins going to need a heck of a defensive effort in the second half to come through in this one. And we'll see if that defensive effort starts on this possession.
There's something in the water, okay? Let's just call it that.
10 on the shot clock.
Tampa's full of winners nowadays, and the Spartans are trying to add themselves to that.
Rollins going to get the ball, go in transition, but Tampa, as they've done all game, an incredible job of getting back in transition defensively.
Ooh. Long might have got away with a travel right there, but lucky for the Tars, it wasn't called.
Kyle Marion in the corner. Hutton Yanor and Kyle Marion both went cold in the first half, and Yanor misses his first 3 coming out of the second half. So both of the Tars' leading scorers not finding a rhythm so far.
This Tampa zone is so disruptive, and he long fouls him on the three-point shot.
Max Jones going to be going to the line for 3 free throws. Not the way Rollins wanted to start this half. Jones in that first half, just 7 points, 2 of 5 shooting, 2 of 2 from the line. Going to get a chance to get into double figures here if he can knock down all 3 of his free throws, which has been the trend for Tampa in this one so far, 12 of 12 now.
Again, this Rollins Stars team is very streaky. Okay, they'll play this way against Tampa, but then play a 22-ranked Barry University team and just control the game.
And we know how key this game is for Rollins because this game against Tampa, neck and neck in the standings with them. Next time out, they're playing the undefeated team in Nova Southeastern. So winning this game, pivotal for their chances, not only the standings, but if you're going to talk about a potential trip to a Division II bracket.
I mean, the way that they played this year, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose this game by 20 and then go out and beat Nova Southeastern. That's just the type of team that they've been.
Tampa could not cleanly grab that rebound. Brown threw it off his own teammate's foot, standing out of bounds. Not exactly what you were aiming to do there. So Rollins gets a free one, free possession back to Rollins. Shot clock is now at 20 instead of 30. Kyle Marion gets the screen from Cluxton. Mid-range pull-up over 2 defenders. Knocks it down.
And then Rollins running a little full-court trap of their own.
Lakovic going to drive, dumps it off. Beautiful bounce pass for the slam. Lateo.
Student section was chanting airball right there, but you can't exactly airball a dunk.
I
never
wouldn't
seen
think
it
so. That would be pretty difficult. I think it may. I definitely guarantee you it's happened, but I've never seen it. I would definitely airball a dunk, for example. Rollins trying to set that offense up, still down 16. Cade Long out to Cluxton. Hutton Yanor now going to try to drive into the paint.
Just
little
no
fall-away
angles.
jumper.
They're having to make some really tough shots. All the shots that they're making are so difficult.
Ynour so far in this game.
Oh, man.
Diving for the steal was Ynour. So far in this one for Ynour, he's up to 8 points with that jumper. We mentioned his incredible averages, 20.8 points per game, 24.3 since Christmas. Hasn't cracked 30 points yet this season. And despite being one of the top scorers in the conference, 4th in the conference in points per game, having incredible games night in, night out, still has yet to crack that 30-point mark. As Williams stays hot, another three-pointer for him, his 5th of the game.
And he tells the crowd to be quiet. Somebody was calling his bluff right there. I wouldn't do that. Williams has been on 100 this entire game.
Not with how he's feeling right now. He has been quite a difficult matchup for the Tars. As Ynour gets fouled.
Oh, man.
Lakovic did not like that call very much.
A bit questionable, but I could see how it could go either way.
So Ynour will go to the line, try to get to double figures. For Williams, his 5th three-pointer of the game. He's done that just once or twice this season. 5 of 9 in his last time out against Barry. 5 of 5 against Palm Beach Atlantic. Way back on January 2nd in a 29-point effort. Ynour knocks down the first free throw. So one more three-pointer for Williams. That's a season high for him. The sophomore really coming into his own.
I mean, you love to see young players blossom like that. And knowing you have them for 2 more seasons after this, it has to make you feel good if you're Tampa.
Ynour misses the free throw. Gum got a hand on that outlet pass, so it'll stay with Tampa.
Pretty sure Gum touched the ceiling lights on that one.
Gum can jump out of the gym for sure. As Williams hits Brown, his three-pointer won't go, and that rebound falls back into the hands of Tampa. Lakovic gets blocked. That's going to go out of bounds. Brooks Cluxton down low. And you got to give credit to the fans here in the arena right now. That Rollins student section has been standing for every moment of game action, it seems like.
Rollins got to reward them and get on a run here. Give them something to really go crazy about.
Williams inbounds, gets the ball back now up top, working against Kyle Marion. Brown trying to decide how he's going to attack, just going to pull up from mid-range. Gets the roll, and it drops in. Williams was coming up for that putback slam.
Is there are there some springs on the floor today? Because
hard
screen by Cluxton.
And a wide open three-pointer for Ynour.
That's what they have to create. That's what they have to do. I've been saying it all game. Create. You have to find a way to create some open three-point shots.
Big three-pointer, much needed for Rollins, but they got to get the defense working. And that's going to be helpful, I would say. That's a helpful thing for Rollins. If you want to get the defense going, get gifted a turnover like that, you got to take that.
The Tars can knock these three-point shots down, but you can't knock them down consistently when they're all contested.
56-41, approaching 4 minutes gone by in the second half. Time taken away. Ynour, a little jab step, going to try from 3 again and knock it down again. Back-to-back threes from Hunt Ynour. He's finding a rhythm. And a steal for Rollins. Ynour saves it, gets it to Kyle Marion. He's going to drive all the way in. No. And the whistle does come. Couldn't hear it. The place was exploding. But I believe that is going to be a foul. Kyle Marion will go to the line after the timeout. And can we just talk about that sequence from Hunt Ynour, back-to-back threes, and then the steal to potentially get Rollins 2 more points at the line.
You talk about hustle plays. He had a hustle play earlier in this half as well, where he tried to dive for the steal as if he was a cornerback going for an interception. Coach Klusman respected it so much he had to come over there and help his guy up. So, I mean, Ynour really trying to be that spark. He's a leader on this team. We already knew that, though. But he's showing it in this game. His team trails by 12 points. He's trying to change that. But mention the three-pointers, right? Rollins Tars, they've made 3 three-pointers in this game. The common theme with all 3 of the attempts that they have made in this game is that they've had at least 2 feet of space for their shooter every single time that they've made a 3 today. Continue to do that. and you'll have success.
And that timeout, potentially huge for Tampa, because they found themselves up 18. Looked like they were getting ready to pull away. Bang, three-pointer from Hutton-Unor. Bang, three-pointer from Hutton-Unor. Now 2 free throws could pull it within 10. They're trying to make sure that Rollins doesn't get on a run, just like the ones that you know this team is capable of and has built their identity off of all season.
Momentum is going to be huge in this game because when you think about it, the Tampa Spartans came into this game with a 3-game losing streak, looking for any way to grab a victory on their heels. Now, one of my keys to victory was going to be the fact that Rollins needed to jump on the Spartans early. They needed to attack early, build an early lead, try to get it up to double digits. Instead, the opposite happened. Tampa did exactly what Rollins needed to do. So now Rollins with an opportunity to grab some momentum, go on a run of their own, and put Tampa back on their heels and force them to play a little bit more like they've been playing on their 3-game losing streak.
A pair of free throw attempts from Kyle Marion. First one is good. Second one coming. Marion, so far in this one, up to 9 points now. Looking for his 10th here. And he gets it to go. Unor up to 15. Gum with 11. Cluxton with 10. Marion with 10. And that's it. Only those 4 players have scored so far for Rollins in this one.
Williams doing a great job getting through that full court press. Really all on his own.
Now Williams going to have to deal with Gum. Get it to the corner. Max Jones.
Keep that hand up, Cluxton. He does.
Williams, a deep 3. That one's off the front rim, but an offensive rebound and put back up and in by Lakovic.
Just when you thought you had something, because Williams finally decides that he wants to miss a shot. Give up the offensive rebound. Lakovic, great hustle right there.
Lakovic standing up to this matchup with Brooks Cluxton. Thought it was going to be a lot tougher on him, but he's played well. 10 rebounds so far tonight. Has not let that height advantage that Rollins got back, that little height boost from Brooks Cluxton, affect him too much in the rebound department. Hutton-Unor trying to stay hot, could not. Brooks Cluxton could not get the putback to go, but another offensive rebound. Rollins will get another chance at it. Gum's going to drive baseline, kick it out. Unor, good look from the corner. And another offensive rebound from Brooks Cluxton. Marion for 3.
Gotta make it.
Oh, and that one's going to go off. Lakovic, is going to call a foul on Cluxton, and they are. But you got to give a lot of credit to Brooks Cluxton fighting on the offensive glass, but Rollins unable to take advantage. So many offensive rebounds.
Those are the plays that can come back to bite you when you can't make those threes. So that was the first 3 that I've seen that was a lot of space, and it didn't go down.
But you got to keep fighting like that if you're Rollins. That is going to be the key. Max Jones for 3 now will not go. An offensive rebound for Tampa this time around. Williams gets it back out.
Got to close out on that.
Open 3 drops.
If you're long, you have to close out on that. You can't just sit there and watch it.
Brown knocks it down from the corner, 61-46. And a huge momentum swing there in favor of Tampa. The missed chances on the offensive rebounds for Rollins, and then an offensive rebound for Tampa on the other end to a 3. A huge, potentially 5-6 point swing. As Hutton-Unor gets into the lane and gets the 2 to go through the contact.
When we're talking about closing out on these threes, KJ, sometimes just running towards a shooter can be enough to disrupt their rhythm and force them to miss.
Max Jones, Euro!
Oh, my.
Through the lane and gave Kyle Marion a little bit of a bump on the way back there, Alfonso.
You ever been to Italy?
I've not.
You ever been to England?
Nope.
Germany?
No, sir. I don't have my passport yet. Got to get back on that passport.
It's clear Max Jones has been somewhere in Europe with that Euro step right there.
Brooks Cluxton up top. Hutton-Unor doing everything he can to get Rollins back into this one. Dayton Gum for 3. No good. And that one off. Tampa just couldn't contain that rebound, so Rollins will get another chance here.
That was a very good shot attempt that they created right there, though. Those are the ones that you're looking for.
Beautiful job swinging it around. But as I mentioned earlier, Alfonso, just 4 Tars, even on the scoreboard right now. Gum, Marion, Unor, and Cluxton, the only ones that have scored. Cade Long, so far, scoreless here today. He'll get the ball here. See if he can get on the scoreboard for the first time.
And I think seeing something go in the basket for Long will help him get into an offensive rhythm.
Unor driving in again and going to get the call on Lakovic. Lakovic a little upset with that, it seemed like. Not the happiest camper after that foul call. His 3rd foul for Lakovic, so that could potentially be key in this game. Lakovic so far 7 points, 10 rebounds, looking poised to finish with a double-double. Also 3 assists. He's been doing a nice job filling up the stat sheet in a number of ways for Tampa. Not doing it all scoring like he was last time against Rollins, but had a very solid game.
I mean, playing really well. 27 points for Lakovic here tonight. So logging a big, heavy load. Four offensive rebounds as well. And we've watched enough basketball to know how huge those are. Now they're going to miss him as he takes a seat.
Lakovic going to sit down. Yanor's second free throw is pure. Rollins cuts it to 13. 13 minutes to go in the second half. Staying in that press. Brown gets a little bit of space, but going to pull it back out and let Tampa set up their half-court offense. And it's going to be led by Max Jones. Jones and Williams playing a game of catch. Gotta love that. And the mid-range jumper is good off of it. Bryant knocks it down. His first shot attempt of the game, right into the game and right into the basket with that jumper.
Tampa just doing really well hitting shots as a whole today.
Cade Long now working with the screen from Cluxton. Going to take it in high off glass. No good, but a foul. Late whistle comes in there.
Very late.
Should send Cade Long to the line.
Well, this is his opportunity to see something actually go into the hoop for him. He's been shut out today. He wants to change that. And like I said, that can really help you when you're trying to find yourself on the defensive end as well. When you see that ball go in the bucket, it really makes you want to play harder on the defensive end.
And really a surprising performance from Cade Long, considering last time against Tampa, 15 points, one of his highest scoring games of the season. And last time out against St. Leo, 19 points and the 5 steals, or I think 16 points rather in that one as well. So Cade Long, very good scoring performances as of late, especially the one he had against Tampa just a few weeks ago, but just hasn't been able to get the lid off the basket. Maybe the free throws can get him going as he cuts the game back to a 13-point lead for Tampa. And we see coming out of that press, Rollins giving up a few opportunities to Brown to find those openings, not taking advantage of it there. Harvey thinking about it, trying to decide what he's going to do here. Driving to the basket now, all the way in. No call. Good defense from Rollins, and Dayton Gum going to control it. Gum into the lane, puts up the layup. No call for him either.
That's another one of those that you have to just slow down and play at the half court.
Brown now going to pull it out and play half court for Tampa.
He's done that about 3 times in this game so far, just dribbling into really bad situations and having to force a shot up. You don't want to put yourself in those spots.
Harvey up top now. Thought about stepping into that 3. 9 on the shot clock now. Brown, little pump fake and drive. Layup is blocked by Hutton Unor. 4 on the shot clock. Right back up. Hutton Unor, another block.
Oh, is that a goaltend?
And they will call a goaltend. Award 2 points to Tampa. Hutton Unor making a strong effort on both sides of the ball, but Tampa just continuing to make it difficult on him. We're going to get a timeout here with Rollins down 15. And Alfonso, with what you've seen in the second half, I know we expected some adjustments. Have you seen any of those, or are they just not working? Does Rollins need to change anything else up from what you can tell?
Again, I hate sounding like a broken record. I want to say something different, but closing out on shooters is the biggest thing. There's been a couple of plays where the shooter's just been left wide open. And Tampa, as you can see, is not allowing many shots like that. And the ones that they have allowed that have been like that, 3 out of the 5 times that those shots have been taken, they've gone in. So Tampa understands that. They understand they can't let that happen. And as a result, 25% from 3 for Rollins. That's really the big story of this game. They make more of those threes. This is a much, much closer game right now.
Rollins, no substitutions yet in this half. They've kept with that same 5, their go-to 5-man lineup of Dayton Gum, Hutton Unor, Kyle Marion, Brooks Cluxton, and Cade Long. Do you think that's something they're going to stick with going into the final 11, 12 minutes of this half? Stick with your 5 best guys, or do they have to change up their rotation a little bit?
I mean, eventually you're going to have to change it up because they can't play all 20 minutes unless they're just supermen. But
spending a lot of energy out there, especially defensively, playing the full-court press.
They are. They're giving a lot of effort. They're not shorting anybody with effort, these 5. But if you're Coach Klusman, I mean, you're just playing the people that you trust the most because you understand the weight and the gravity of this game. But I think this will be a great time for Sergey to come in to add some defensive help to the backcourt.
Rollins sticking with those 5 out of the timeout. We mentioned the field goal percentage for Tampa in the first half as that ball was knocked away. Going to stay with Rollins. Tampa actually shooting better in the second half than they did in the first half, up to 53% in this half, 8 of 15 so far to open things up. So Rollins haven't been able to find the answer defensively even coming out of halftime.
Did I mention I don't do sports betting?
You did. I think you did mention that, in fact, Alfonso. Smart man. Kyle Marion going to get things started and over to Hutyanor offensively for Rollins. Just haven't been able to cut it to single digits. Last time it was single digits was 5:33 to go in the first half. Hutyanor, a little 1-foot fade away, and he has been really solid in the second half. He's been one of the few bright spots for Rollins to open up in these last 9 minutes.
I mean, you still have a lot of time. That's the crazy thing. You're just under 11 minutes to go. I know it's a 13-point game, and Tampa's in firm control, but you do have an opportunity to start chipping away. You just need to get a couple of stops in a row and sink some baskets. As Harvey, oh man, was almost wide open for that.
Harvey thought about it and almost had a chance at a drive. Now Williams for 3. That one's off. Hutyanor with the board.
Williams doesn't think. He just lets it go, and that's why he had 30 in the last game.
Cade Long, quick trigger from 3 and gets it from the corner. It's a 10-point game.
Those free throws helped. Those free throws helped.
Did.
You see the ball go through the basket.
And Tampa getting back on defense just a little bit slower, allowing Cade Long to slip to the corner and get a clean look. Rollins doing a great job getting that up the court and making sure to take advantage.
I mean, the conditioning of this starting 5 is just off the charts, obviously.
Harvey in the corner. Brown, a good look. Long on the 3. Rebound to Bryant. Gets a little contact, not the whistle, but gets the bucket.
I have no idea how that went in. Hats off to him.
Off the back rim, Kyle Marion takes it the other way for Rollins. Trying to work quick. I'm going to slow it down. Dayton Gum up top. Gets it to Yanor. Swinging it around up top now for Rollins. A lot of ball movement. Hutyanor thinks he has a lane to the basket. Gets blocked, but a foul.
Harvey and Williams wanted to do something special there on the fast break.
You saw Harvey skipping almost. It's kind of that's this skip. You know what that skip said to me? It was almost a what do they call those? A interpretive dance. It was like I can't believe that just got called. And I feel like that's what that interpretive dance was there. On the floor, so Rollins will take it out of bounds. Cluxton to Marion. Great look. Cannot knock it down. Brown with a rebound.
Again, shooting on the move right there. Feet not all the way set. I mean, he can knock that down, obviously, but
Kyle Marion 0 for 4 from deep so far in this one.
He's gotten some good looks.
Tampa going to get it out to Williams. Another 3. That one's off.
I'm surprised. I was actually about to call out. That's good. Oh, man.
Hutyanor puts his shoulder down, and that's an offensive foul. Coach Klusman very upset with the officials at that call. What did you see on that one, Alfonso? It looked like Yanor kind of put that shoulder down, drove into this man a little bit, but Coach Klusman not in agreement with the officials on that one.
Well, Coach Klusman is already frustrated with just how the game has gone so far. Has to be careful not to get himself tossed out here.
So Tampa will inbound. Rollins will stay in the press. Still no substitutions. See Hutyanor standing at half court, hands on his knees. These players, especially Hutyanor, expending so much energy. Hutyanor's been all over the place. Defensively, you saw that block followed by almost another block getting called a goaltend. Been relentlessly driving into the paint. Leaving it all out there on the floor right now in this game. Brown now has it on the wing, back to Williams. Slow it down. Tampa just content with slowly, methodically picking apart this Rollins zone. Bryant for a 3, almost banked in.
Man.
Gave Marion almost a tough time on the rebound, but
the bank is closed. The bank is closed. No withdrawals right now.
Wait, you're right. It's 8:58. It's got to be closed today. I was hoping I could go after the game. Marion going to swing it around now. Hutyanor trying to drive a whistle.
I think that's going to be a defensive foul.
That's on Bryant, 23.
So, yeah, he ran through that screen.
Rollins not yet in the bonus, not shooting 1-1, so Yanor will inbound. Side out of bounds here, gets it into Marion. Approaching 8 minutes to go. Rollins still down 12. It's getting late early for the Tars. They're going to have to start that run very soon. Dayton Gum from 3. No good.
Man. That's just bad luck.
It's another board for Lakovich. This is 11th in this one.
He's having himself a terrific performance here today.
Bryant going to get it back out to Williams. Harvey will set it back up with 15 on the shot clock. Bryant gets a little bit of a lane, but great job by Hutton-Yanor to knock that away.
Really a quick first move, putting the defense on its heels right there. That was impressive. Just couldn't finish it.
And a timeout on the floor, 69-57. Tampa with the ball, 9 seconds on the shot clock. When we come back for what we're hoping will be a thrilling finish. You're watching the Rollins Tars versus the Tampa Spartans on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. KJ Doyle and Alfonso McCree on the call. We'll see you in just a moment. We are back on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. KJ Doyle joined by Alfonso McCree for the final 7:41, and Tampa inbounding here with just 9 seconds on the shot clock. Potentially a play that could swing the game. This possession, a lot riding on this possession for both teams. Williams going to go to work. Leading scorer kicks it out to Brown, and he knocks it down with 2 on the shot clock. A three-pointer brings the lead for Tampa to 15.
Not just 2 on the shot clock, but 2 defenders in his face. Still knocked it down. Sometimes there's nothing you can do.
We'll see how Rollins responds out of that timeout. Now down 15. Yanor's going to have it up top. Gets it into Cluxton for the easy layup. Couldn't ask for an easier 2 points than that. Keeps the deficit at 13, but Rollins just can't get back within single digits. Tampa keeping them at bay very nicely here at this 10 to 15 point deficit.
The crazy part is points are even here in the second half at 26 apiece, but yet because of the work that was done in the first half by the Spartans, Tampa finds themselves up by 13.
Dayton Gum got up for that rebound. Cluxton, a beautiful catch on the other end on the fast break, and he'll get to the line for 2. So Rollins a chance to cut it to 11 now.
This time can move off the clock very, very quickly. We talk about cutting leads to 5 to give yourself a better chance to win. But that work has to start right now. A run has to start right now.
Brooks Cluxton leads the game in free throw attempts. Also second on the Tars in scoring, just behind Hutton-Yanor. Kyle Marion struggling a little bit here tonight. 4 of 11 from the field, 0 of 4 from deep. Cluxton 7 of 9 from the line so far. And unable to knock that one down. Hutton-Yanor tried to go for the steal there. Could not get it. See Hutton-Yanor, just the effort he's expending, just ran all the way down the court to try to get the steal and had to run all the way back to get back defensively in position to contest that shot. Now the ball into his hands on the rebound.
Got an opportunity, 3-on-2.
Cade Long
catched up.
Going to drive baseline, dump it off to Cluxton. The slam. And Rollins is up. The fans jumping up after that throwdown. Could that be the thing to get him going?
The run has to happen right now. So it has to be the thing that gets them going. 10-point game now.
Now or never, Alfonso? Is that what we're talking about?
Now or never.
Max Jones gets knocked away by Cade Long. I almost thought he just threw that out of bounds for a second from this angle. 12 on the shot clock on the inbound. Max Jones going to throw it in. Alfonso, if Tampa misses and Rollins is able to get a bucket on the ensuing possession, I think this place might explode. Harvey up top, now 7 on the shot clock. Tampa's got to work quick. Into the corner for Bryant.
3 seconds.
3 on the shot clock. Max Jones going to have to force it up. It's stolen.
Oh, they're going to let it go.
Dayton Gum on the breakaway. He's going to throw it down. Warden Arena is rocking now. 8-point game. Tampa wants to slow this down. They don't want Rollins to get on a run. Going to take their time on this offensive trip.
Williams on deck.
The defensive chance coming in from the Tars faithful. Into the lane. That shot no good. Cluxton comes away with it. Into the hands of Marion. Just over 5 to go. Hutton Yanor working on Brown. Gets it to Cluxton. The layup is good. The slip screen works to perfection. It is 72-66, just like that, Alfonso.
I said it had to happen right now, didn't I?
The student section is screaming behind the Spartans bench, right in their ears. Brown gets it up top. Gonna kick it to the corner. Max Jones working. Baseline, little Euro again, won't go. Rebound, tipped up and in.
That's the guy you need. That's the guy you need to make the play if you're Tampa. That's the guy.
The lead back up to 8 now. And Coach Klusman will take a timeout.
Woo!
Amid the run, getting the game back to a reasonable margin, 74-66. Alfonso, you called it, and it was happening right before our very eyes.
Look, my wife's the psychic, not me, you know. But in all seriousness, they understand the gravity of the situation. Still no substitutions here in the second half for Coach Klusman and the Tars, and yet they go on this magical run, and they're in prime position with 4.5 left to make something great happen. It was just a 6-point game. Okay, that was a great play there by Max Jones, obviously. But you're right there.
Two Rollins defenders, 2 trees with Brooks Cluxton down there, all fighting for it, and able to get that tip. Beautiful, beautiful play by the second leading scorer in the country. Alfonso, you said your wife's the psychic, so is that like that conspiracy theory about Einstein that his wife was the smart one and he just wrote the stuff down? Is that
exactly?
Yeah, the old trope.
Exactly.
Max Jones on that putback. Second chance points for Tampa, now up to 19. Rollins in this game, just 5, very indicative of what we saw. You remember back at the early on in this half, Rollins got chance after chance, 3 offensive rebounds in a row, couldn't get it in. Tampa gets the offensive rebound very next possession and puts a bucket in. So that has really told the story in this one, and the second chance points discrepancy could be what leads Tampa to victory if they're able to hold on to this lead.
Precisely. And when you think about it, too, like how big do those free throws from Cluxton look now? 7 out of 10? Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Those 7 points are very important. And it could play a huge factor as he continues. I don't believe he's taken his last trip to the line yet.
17 and 9 for him. You saw him coming up big, the slam, the little offhand layup after the free throws. He has been huge during this run.
He's a walking double-double.
Well, we'll see if he can get that rebound and finish off the double-double. I almost, I know you're not into sports betting and predicting things, but I bet that would be a good one if you were to bet that right now.
Yeah, that's one I'll take.
Rollins going to set it up down 8, trying to keep this game within reach, cut it back to a 2-possession lead for Tampa. Marion looking to drive, kicks it out. Gum now into the lane, and Gum with an explosive throwdown.
That's on his head. That's on his head.
2 hands on that jam on 2 defenders. Dayton Gum gets the crowd rocking once again out of that timeout. You're worried the timeout might lose some of the momentum, some of the excitement Rollins had working for them. That dunk definitely dispelled that notion. The layup for Brown is good to get it back to 8. Under 4 minutes to go now in this game. Cade Long gets the bounce pass underneath. Gum's going to try a 3. It's short.
Got to get back. Got to get back.
Lakovic nearly lost it. And now Tampa's going to slow it back down.
It's back up to an 8-point game. And Williams, who else but making that play on that last Tampa possession? Gum!
With the steal. Up and in and one. Dayton Gum has come alive.
And Lakovich takes another shoulder to the chin.
The Rollins crowd is dancing on the court. Dancing on the court over there. I think they were doing the gritty. I think I saw the gritty over there.
You know, me and you have had some special moments together. We've had some special moments together, especially on the Florida Athletics Network. I'm sure you remember that one. This reminds me of that. The crowd really into it. Dunks, threes made. Answers by Tampa, though. The Spartans responding almost immediately to every big punch that the Rollins Stars are throwing at them. It's been numerous times now. I can count at least 3 times on my hand that Rollins has made this a 6-point game, only for the Spartans to come right back with a clutch bucket.
I have to tell you, Alfonso, we mentioned Brooks Cluxton before being a key part of that run. How about Dayton Gum? His athleticism on full display right now.
That was the first thing I learned about him as a player, is that this man could jump out of the gym. Jump out of the gym. And he's shown it all season. He's showing it tonight when they needed it most. This is incredible. This is a great performance.
Being honored on senior night, could you ask a better time to come through when your team needs you the most? Dayton Gum. I've always thought there's something with Gum. I can't think of it. There's a pun on the tip of my tongue. Gum with something with the ability to jump. It's like Jumbie, Dayton Jumbie. I can't quite think of it, but it's right there. I'm telling you. Dayton Gum gets the layup on the last possession through the contact. Beautiful play. You mentioned a few times him going in with that head of steam and it being a little too lackadaisical. Now it seems like he has that extra foot of vertical to finish those plays.
Absolutely. The Spartans were up by 15 points at one point. And look at the Tars.
Gum going to the line here. 59% free throw shooter on the season. You could never ask for a time for that 59% to work in your favor, the good part of that 59% than right now.
And do you hear this arena? It just went deadly silent like right there.
A perfect swish.
Unbelievable.
A perfect swish to cut it to 5. 3:15 left to go in this ball game. Rollins staying in the trap. Yenor fingertips away from a steal. That layup no good. Tip
Max
into
Jones
the hands of Gum. Gum's going to run in transition once again. Full head of steam. And a foul is called. And Brown cannot believe it. He's irate with the officials. Gum's going to the line for a 1-and-1.
You believe that? What did I say? What did I say, KJ? Second half team.
Rollins going to have their 22nd and 23rd free throws of the game. Tampa, a smooth 14 of 14 from the line, but Rollins with a steady advantage in that category. Gums first, knocks it down. You mentioned not the best free throw shooter, but couldn't have picked a better time to find a rhythm from the line. 2 straight knockdown from Gum, and here comes the third.
Oh, and that one's off.
Couldn't get the roll.
That's a big one right there.
2 of 3. You have to make the first one on the 1-and-1, so you have to take that. 76-72. Rollins once again staying in the trap.
And a turnover. A turnover on Tampa.
A 10-second violation. They didn't get over half court in time. A mental mistake from the Spartans. Rollins in the middle of the comeback right now. And Tampa seems like it's getting in their head a little bit.
Momentum is a real thing. Anybody who doesn't think momentum is a real thing doesn't understand the power of energy and how it can shift and change things around you. The energy has shifted in the direction of the Rollins Stars in this game.
Rollins
they're taking full advantage.
With a chance to cut it to 1 possession. 4-point lead for Tampa. Cluxton, a little spin move in the paint, lost it. Brown takes it away.
Great defense there, my goodness.
And he'll slow it down now. 2:22 to go in the game. 76-72 lead for Tampa. Williams dribbling up top on Marion, wants the screen, gets it. Corner, Brown, pump fake, mid-range. Going to dump it off now. Williams with 10 on the shot clock. Back out Brown. 3-pointers up, 3-pointers short. And into the hands of Marion.
If you're Tampa right now, you need a big shot from Williams on your next offensive possession.
Yenor, who else would you want with the ball? If you're Rollins, he gets the screen. Going to drive in, get a little bit of an edge. Offhand layup won't go, and Brown pulls down the board.
I think he wanted a foul call right there, but that was just great defense there by Tampa.
He's been getting quite a few calls going into the paint, now under 2 minutes. Tampa's going to get it to Max Jones. Drive in, a little dump off layup. Blocked by Brooks Cluxton! Denied! Dayton Gum trying to drive in and a foul called. And this time,
KJ, again, these 5 players have played all the minutes in the second half.
Gum will go to the line yet again, just getting some work. Might have had a blood or a sweat issue, hard to tell. Got the towel, wipe it off. I think a little bit of sweat in his eyes is what he's worried about from the coach. Officials assisting him.
38 minutes for Unor, 33 minutes for Marion, 37 for Gum, 35 for Long, 36 for Cluxton. Next closest is our guy, Sergei Grishuk, with 9 minutes.
9 minutes. My goodness, Rollins sticking with their go-to 5 here. Dayton Gum still getting worked on. The officials having a bit of conversation with Coach Klusman. It appears that Dayton Gum might have to come out of the game. A little bit of a conversation about that. Grisette was at the scores table, now going to walk back to the bench, so it looks like they figured it out, and Dayton Gum will be able to stay in the game to shoot these free throws. You can see on the other side, Tampa having a conversation with the officials about why Gum was able to stay in the game. Going to shoot the free throws. First one's off.
Big miss. Really got to hit this second one. Make it a one-possession game here.
You can cut it to 3. I'm sure Rollins will be content with that for now. Gum's second free throw. It is good. 76-73. Rollins once again staying in the press. 1:20 to go. Tampa gets it over half court this time. Williams going to take it up top. 15 on the shot clock. Approaching 1 minute left to go in this game. In the corner, Brown. Pure
Big
from
shot.
3.
Big shot.
Exactly what you needed if you were Tampa. Brings the lead back to 6. Rollins needs a bucket badly on this possession. Need to match that 3 and a steal from Williams. The player of the game goes to the
what
dunk.
a block and a foul called.
Looks like he caught Williams on the wrist on the way up. And a run-stifling pair of possessions for this Tampa team. The momentum seemed like it was entirely in favor of Rollins. And now the three-pointer from the corner and the steal gives Tampa quite the advantage in the final minute of this game. Williams to the line. First one is good. Williams up to 22 points in this one. Second free throw knocks it down, and a timeout from Rollins. 81-73, 47 seconds left to go. Alfonso, it looked like Rollins was destined to pull back this game from the clutches of defeat from Tampa. They were right on the brink of it, within 3 points. And Tampa, a couple of possessions gone exactly how they would have wanted. An 8-point deficit now for Rollins. Going to be a tough hole to climb out of.
I mean, but a huge 3 there from Tampa. Exactly what you needed, exactly when you needed it. And an opportunity to really milk this game away. Now, 47 seconds is no short amount of time in college basketball. So this game isn't over by any stretch of the imagination. It's an 8-point game. If you're Rollins, you need a solid possession right now. You need one that results in a basket. Whether it's a 2 or a 3, just don't come away empty. Don't come away without points here. And you should be all right heading into the rest of the game.
You got to take it one possession at a time. That's all you got to do if you're Rollins. They've been on the other end of this situation not too long ago here in Warden Arena against Eckerd, where Eckerd was able to come back from a similar deficit in the final seconds to force overtime. You mentioned Rollins flipping the script earlier. Flip the script, flip the narrative. See if they can do the exact same thing to Tampa with limited time to go. It's going to take a lot of fouling, A lot of quick buckets. It's going to take Rollins getting into a rhythm from 3. 4 of 16 from outside in the game. Just 3 of 9 this half. So they've improved in the second half, but still haven't gotten to the level they would have wanted.
They've done some great things in this second half. You know, they've cut the three-point percentage of Tampa as that one from long just went way short.
Okay, long short. Max Jones fouled. And Jones will go to the line with his team up 8. And he'll attempt to send that lead. Actually, Rollins doesn't yet have Tampa in the bonus, so Tampa will inbound right now. Little dump-off pass and the dunk from Lakovic.
That's feel really good for Lakovic right there. Again, he's been getting hammered this entire game.
And a foul will send Dayton Gum to the line. And Kyle Marion, a little high five. And Alfonso starting to approach that time where we have to talk about the fact that this could be the final game in Worden Arena for Dayton Gum and for the Tars this season.
It could be. You know, again, 2 really big games coming up. Number 1 team in the country awaits these Rollins Tars as they go on the road to Nova Southeastern. And then they finish up at Lynn University. And, you know, this game was so important because those next 2 games are going to be difficult. And, you know, this Rollins team obviously has beaten plenty of ranked teams this season, including Flagler College when they were number 2 in the country earlier this year. So they've shown capabilities to defeat teams that are highly favored over them. But games like this, these are the ones that you really want to win, and these are the ones that, unfortunately, they've lost a little bit too many of these this season.
And if it is Dayton Gum's final game here, what a game it was. Not only the explosive plays we saw from him, the incredible dunks, but set a new career high here at Rollins in this one. 22 points he's up to now and counting. We'll see if he can add to that. But really a special performance in what could be his final game in front of these fans.
And a great memory to leave these Rollins Tars fans with as he exits Worden Arena for potentially the last time.
And Cluxton on top of that, an impressive performance from him, 17 and 9 in this one. Both of them stepped up when Rollins needed them to, but it may prove to just be not enough for the Tars. This free throw from Max Jones is pure. And we're going to get a timeout from Coach Klusman. So Alfonso, Rollins facing a 10-point deficit. Looks like they may fall in this one. Next time out against Nova Southeastern. Undefeated on the season, then finishing the season up against Lynn University. And then potentially, we expect a berth into the Sunshine State Conference tournament, but not the result they wanted today to give themselves the best chance in that tournament to come away victorious.
Yeah, obviously you want to try to secure some type of home court advantage because, as you can see tonight, it was really lending itself to these Tars and their performance on the court. But Tampa, I just got to talk about them, how great they have been tonight. Shattering all expectations based off their season numbers. You wouldn't expect them to shoot the way that they have tonight. But, you know, Williams stepping up big. 30 points in the last game, 23 tonight, continuing his momentum going. He's going to finish the season strong more than likely. And what an asset to this team that he has turned out to be is, wow, he floated right there. That looked like Spider-Man swinging through New York City as he laid that one in. But, you know, when you talk about Williams and the things that he brings to the table, fearlessness, the ability to shoot from anywhere, 5 for 10 from three-point range. He clearly has the green light from his coach. And he knocks his free throws down as well. I was talking earlier about his form, how effortless it looks. You know, you have to practice that a lot for it to be that effortless. 6 for 6 from the line here tonight. 6 for 14 from the field overall. Adding in 7 assists and 5 rebounds, so the hustle plays. The only thing he wants to eliminate is those turnovers. He did lead his team in turnovers with a team high of 3. But with everything that he's done on the court, it's more than made up for that. So he's eliminated all of his mistakes with his productivity on the court tonight.
Kyle Marion for the Tars, up to 12 points. One of his lower scoring games on the season has been, as we mentioned, the Tars' second leading scorer You can count on two hands the amount of times he's had this few amount of points as Max Jones gets fouled. And he'll go to the line. This could pretty much wrap things up if he can knock both of these down.
And for the Spartans, Littau, man, he came up with some huge defensive stops here in this game today. Really, when they needed it most, he put a body on Cluxton and forced a miss, and you can't really understate that. Those are momentum plays as well that can shift momentum.
You know, the Tars were able to cut it to 76-72 with just about 3 minutes left in this game, and they just could not crawl back into it from there. Their next 4 possessions, Gum misses the second free throw after he was able to cut it to 4. Then Cluxton, a turnover on the very next possession, a Yanor miss to follow that up. You remember the layup? He drove to the lane, tried to go up on the other end and couldn't get it to go. And then on the very next possession, Gum misses the front end of a 1-and-1. And that pretty much was all she wrote. Tampa going to dribble it out and come away victorious, stay in 4th place in the Sunshine State Conference. A wonderful game from Williams as he continues his hot streak. Tampa's going to go on to win 87-77 in Warden Arena.
What a game from these Spartans. They're going to be something to reckon with in the SSC tournament and potentially in the NCAA tournament as well. They continue to play like this. Williams continues on the streak like this. Man,
and if this is
dangerous.
a matchup that we potentially see in the Sunshine State Conference tournament, it'd be a worthwhile competitive battle between these two sides.
A season sweep, though, for the Spartans. That has to put a really sour taste in the Tars' mouth to be beaten twice by this team. And again, both scores ending up looking a lot worse than it actually was. 10 points here, but it was just 76-72. And then a couple of key plays by the Spartans really helped them pull away in this game.
Right within reach. Well, Alfonso, I think that'll do it for us. This has been Rollins basketball going up against the Tampa Spartans on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Once again, Tampa walks away victorious 87-77. This has been KJ Doyle alongside the extraordinary Alfonso McCree.
Oh, man.
Stay tuned for the next games. Remember, Rollins, 2 away games coming up, 1 against Nova Southeastern and 1 against Lynn. That game coming on Saturday against the number 1 team in Division II basketball, Nova Southeastern. If they can walk away with that win, that should dispel the bad feeling from Tampa. That would be quite the bounce back. And they played Nova Southeastern pretty well last time they played them. Once again, stay tuned for those games on Saturday and next Wednesday. This has been KJ Doyle and Alfonso McCree on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We'll see you next time.